So I just got done with an all-day, actually two-day event with some of my top students and a lot of new students too. And the new students were asking me question after question, which I answered. So this video, I answer a ton of questions. Please watch it, take notes. Maybe I answer one of your questions. Don't feel bad if you're just starting. Remember, I have 40 plus millionaire students. Once upon a time, myself and my millionaire students, we didn't have very much. We had a few $100s. Some of us had a few $1,000s to our names. Don't feel bad if you have a small account. Keep asking questions. Click the link below, actually, if you want to get in on my weekly Q&A webinars. I give weekly Q&A webinars to challenge students, and now actually several of my millionaire students give weekly webinars. Jack Kellogg, who just crossed 13 million, he gives weekly webinars, Q&A, and live trading. And also now Tim Grattani, he's coming back. He's over 16 million. He's giving weekly webinars to the challenge students too. And then we also have Ellis, former NFL player, amazing guy, really learns about discipline and hard work. He's not yet a millionaire, but he answers questions, and he's also over $400,000. He's trading a little more conservatively. But this is all about Q&A. Knowledge is truly power. Actually, leave that comment below this video if at any time your question was answered, or maybe several of your questions, or even if you just find this interesting, leave a comment below. Say, knowledge is key, okay? I want you to understand this is all about preparation and knowledge meeting opportunity. We have a hot market right now, but if you're unprepared, if you don't have the knowledge, you're not going to truly capitalize. So leave a comment. Thank you everyone for asking questions. We're going to keep answering questions. Study up, take notes. So much to teach you guys, really just to help speed up your education and speed up your learning curve. That's the key to all of this. This is not an exact science. There's no magic formula, but you can certainly increase your odds of success, and you most certainly can improve your future by studying. So let me take some questions. I will answer anything. I am trying to be the mentor to you guys that I never had. Once upon a time, I knew nothing, had very little too. Let's see, questions. Which websites do you use for screening penny stocks? It's right on my shirt. Okay, I wear this shirt not just to brag about stocks to trade, but because this is the one website that you need to use every single day. Stocks to Trade scans, Oracle, Iris, Stocks to Trade breaking news. This is the platform I only wish we had when I first started. It would have made life much easier. When I first started, there was no software. There were no AI scanning tools. I would manually go to different news wires and look up news, and I would miss most of the news plays because there's only so much I can do. This is a tool that now helps speed up your research process. Please use it. Thank me, okay? Seriously, thank me, thank the team for creating this. This is such an incredible tool. It has made trading so much better and your research process so much easier. Let's see. How do you get past the fear of losing on a trade and let your winners run? I still don't. I'm always afraid of losing. If you just heard from my several millionaire students, once upon a time when they get too cocky, when they forget about the fear of losing, they bet too big, they hold too long, and they lose. So you can lose on any trade. And I always say trade scared so that trading isn't scary. I know it's not fun. I know people want to let their winners run. You can use stop losses. I use mental stop losses. But even then, you have to understand, we're trading the most volatile stocks. So for me, I might give it a day, maybe 2 days max, but I don't hold a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, okay? Like, you get to choose how patient you want to be, but I've seen plays turn around for any number of reasons, whether it's the market, whether it's breaking news, whether it's an offering, whether some short selling expose comes out. I like playing it safe. So when you look at me and you see like, wow, Tim, several of your millionaire students make $1 million plus a year, and I'm pretty comfortable making $200,000 or $300,000 a year trading with small positions and trading scared, that's me. You get to choose. The good news is whether you make $200,000 or $300,000 a year, like on average, like I've done now for the past few years, although I did get more aggressive in 2020, 21, that's still good money. I like trading much more scared, much more cowardly than most people. Let's see. Questions. When are you coming to meet your first South African millionaire? I would love to. I'm going to Africa November. We're going to Zimbabwe, apparently, unfortunately, there's a massive drought going on, so we're going to document for my charity that drought, and we're going to try to raise money, and I'm going to donate money to help a lot of the animals that are now dying there. But love South Africa. Cape Town is one of my favorite cities in the world. Let's see. On weekend, overnight trades with news, if volume drops in after hours and the price holds, will you still stay or exit? Every play is a little different. You know, what is the market doing? What's the news catalyst? What's social media saying? How much is it up or down after hours? A lot of the time, if you are part of my weekend newsletter, you know that I take profits a little too soon. That's just me. You know, like if you ever want to learn the cowardly approach, this guy, okay? That's why we also have Jack Kellogg and now Tim Grittani giving challenge webinars. They're more aggressive, they're more patient. You get to choose how conservative or how aggressive you want to be. I will say, try to be more conservative in the beginning. You can always get more aggressive later on. A lot of people who are too aggressive early on, it doesn't really end well. I prefer you build a foundation of knowledge, a foundation of, you know, wallet padding. Tim Grittani and Jack Kellogg can afford to be more aggressive because they're both young guys and now they both made 8 figures. So they can afford a little more risk. If you're trying to grow a small account, if you're trying to learn the process, I would be more conservative. Do you have a plan on holding a swing trade before you get into it? Asked Jackie. Yeah, I mean, sometimes like you can see several of the examples that I trade and even what I brought up yesterday with RR. When a company has upcoming news, like RR is announcing a new robot called Scorpion coming out 3 weeks from now. When they announced it was 4 weeks, you can hold it for several days or several weeks if you want. Again, you know, RR doubled, more than doubled from my buy at 65 cents. It went up to $1.60 in 3 trading days. I sold it too early, somewhat the same day, and then some on Monday at 81 cents roughly. So I sold too early. But if there's the right catalyst, if there's the right setup, you should try to hold longer. I still need to work on that. Also, August is a little choppy. You've heard from several students. So right now, I wouldn't go swing trading. When the market is hotter, like you know it was earlier in 2024 and probably what will happen November, December after the election concern is over, that's when you'll see me get more aggressive. I go more conservative and more aggressive, but again, in my own way. Me getting more aggressive might be a bigger position size. It might be a longer holding period. Every play is different. You can't just have these generalities like, oh, I always want to hold this long. I always want to buy the same amount of shares. You got to judge the ups and the downs, the risk and the reward of everything. Like, you know, Powell just spoke on Friday. I wouldn't be aggressive on any play heading into a Fed announcement because you don't know how the market's going to react. So you have to know about stuff like that. Let's see. Debbie asks, when I'm in a long and I want to get out, do I use a limit sale? Robinhood has been swiping up and they give me putting in a limit takes time. I always use a limit. I don't use market orders. I know some people like market orders. You get executed quicker, but I don't want to give up the control. I think a big part of successful trading is being disciplined. Again, even if I get the same order on a market or a limit order, if the stock is, you know, trading very liquid, I don't want to even open the door to potentially getting a bad fill, which is what a market order gives you. I don't want to give up control on any play. I would rather miss the play than give up control. Just like some people are like, how do you feel? You missed this play, you put it in a limit order and it blew past it and you couldn't get in. I would rather miss a trade than give up control because my success, my student success is all based on control. And I know a lot of traders who have failed due to lack of control. So it's a very important point. I don't mind missing plays. John says, do you trade pre-market and after hours? John, part of the reason why I have a beard and I look tired is because I am tired and I don't have time to shave. The past few weeks have been insane. There have been not just 9:30 a.m. when the market opens, but pre-market, and not just 8 a.m. pre-market runners. There's been 4 a.m. runners, 5 a.m. runners, 8 a.m. runners, 9:30 a.m. runners, 12 p.m. runners, 2 p.m. runners, 4 p.m., even 6 p.m. runners. So it's been crazy all summer long, really all year long. That won't always be the case. And if you have a busy life, I suggest you try to focus. But right now it's kind of like fire at will. So I'll trade when there's a good opportunity, but I don't look forward to getting up at 4 a.m. Eastern, especially when I'm in America. It helps when I was in Italy this summer. That's probably why I had the best summer of trading, because 4 a.m. Eastern in Italy is 10 a.m. Eastern. But even when students like Chris and Mari and Andrew came and visited me, we're all trading at 10 a.m. Eastern because of the recent phenomenon of 4 a.m. runners. I hope it doesn't last. Let's see. John says, which brokers do you prefer? I use E-Trade, Trade Zero, and Interactive Brokers right now. Trade Zero have been not as great for me lately because it's for short selling, and I don't short sell right now due to the risk. E-Trade recently got acquired. They've been sucking, so I've been using Interactive Brokers the majority of the time. Do I think RR has more room to run? Asked Jim. Yeah, maybe, but you just don't know. It's already run so much, and like I went over, you kind of have like that bad sushi chart, if you're familiar with my old lessons, when it dropped from $1.30 down to 30 cents in one day on no news. Be very careful. The robot has potential, but I don't like the action, and I wouldn't be confident to hold. Robert says, what is the #1 trader characteristic do you see in all your millionaire students? Dedication to learning. Focusing on learning, getting obsessed with learning first. Once you learn enough, once you get enough confidence and you study the past enough, you get confidence in your own strategy and the different patterns. When you see other traders banking, and even if you miss those plays, at least you learn from them. That's the beauty of the challenge. That's when you really can start to excel with your own trading. Most people think like, oh, I have a dedication to getting rich, like get rich or die trying. I would say get smart or die trying, because if you get smart enough, you're going to get rich. It's inevitable. Most people don't get smart enough. They just do it for the money. So you have to change your priorities a little bit. John says, when dip buying, what are your criteria and how do you choose your entry and exit? Again, every play is different. If I'm dip buying a morning panic, it's already down 20, 30%. I will look for previous support zones. I don't have to say like, hey, the support zone has to hold. I'm looking for the max panic. I have 1,000+ video lessons on morning panic dip buys. Watch them all. The more you study my past trades, the current trades, other students in the challenge sharing their trades, other millionaire students, you get a better feel for this game. This is not an exact science, guys, okay? So every play is slightly different. I have my 7-step framework, which you can use as a guide. I have prepare, where you're looking at different market indicators, different indicators for the stock, 7 indicators before I risk my hard-earned money on any trade. I'm not just buying random stocks. I'm not following my gut. You have to take this seriously. And the more meticulous you are, the better your odds of success. Let's see. Anna says, what does the Fed rate reduction do to the day trading market? The Fed rate dropping rates, that's very good for small caps. Usually small caps suffer when rates are too high because small companies can't borrow that much. It's too expensive. So small companies don't grow as fast. Small cap stocks don't spike as high. When Fed lowers the rates, historically, small caps spike more. We've seen this with several billionaire traders putting more money into the IWM, which is the small cap index, taking money out of Apple, taking money out of Nvidia, because theoretically, as the Fed lowers rates, small caps outperform. At least it has been historically, and we've been seeing that in the past few days too. So this is the beginning of probably what is going to be a solid small cap rally. Small caps have really fallen back the past few years. Now I think it's really good. That's why we're doing this. We want you to be prepared. September and October are historically the 2 most volatile months, and then November to May historically is the best 6-month period. There's a saying that's sell in May and go away, although this summer has been crazy too. So I don't know how far small caps go, but I'm very glad to be a small cap trader positioned properly right now. The next few months are going to be insane. Just watch. Let's see. Debbie says, what time do you look at the stock market when you make your trade? After hours, end of the day? I'm in Los Angeles. Again, everyone's different time zones, different personalities. Some people like to wake up with the sunrise and they do morning yoga and they meditate and they take their ice plunge. I can't do any of that. I like to sleep in. I stay in the ice plunge for like 5 seconds, and then I'm like, no, I'm out. I need a lot of coffee right now in Celsius. I'm not a morning person. But if you are a morning person, start looking right when you wake up. I think that when you find your time that really suits your personality, your work schedule, I have students who work too, you just try to find solid trades that suit you. Some people like morning panics, dip buys. Some people don't. Some people like afternoon breakouts. Some people like shorting the first red day. The cool thing is with a hot market, there's many different patterns and opportunities every day, so you get to choose. It's like a buffet of opportunities. Julio says, what if I have a trade plan but other tickers start to pop up? on the percent gainers list. I mean, that's always the possibility. This is the problem that I've had lately where it's like, you'll see me in the chat room and I'm just like fire at will. There's 10, 15, 20 stocks that are up 50, 100%. So if you ever miss a play, the good news is there's probably another play right around the corner. That said, you don't want to stay in any one play too long because there might be a better play around the corner too. So it's like a double-edged sword where I want to take the best trades, but oftentimes I'm in a trade that might not be doing well. I move on to the next trade. But endless opportunities to learn. Randy says, what is your favorite current pattern, dip and rip, weekend trade, ABCD, VWAP, high of the day break? I mean, every week is slightly different. I don't care like which one is my favorite. You know, it's like, you know, who's my favorite child? Who's my favorite student? I appreciate all my students, good and bad. I appreciate all the strategies, good and bad. Lately, the past few weeks, I've been buying a lot of morning spikes. I say that this is like the summer of short squeezes. So you don't really want to dip buy right now. The backside of short squeezes haven't been working that great. I prefer morning panic dip buys, but they just haven't been that many of them. So I focus on what the market gives me. James says, what percent should I get out of a trade if it starts going down? I mean, I cut my losses so quickly. Like I lose sometimes 1, 2, 3%. Sometimes I even get out before I lose. The other day, FFIE, I was looking for a giant short squeeze. It wasn't breaking the key 320 level. I bought it at 313, sold it at like 319. I made 6 cents a share. I protected myself. The next day it hit 6, the next day it hit 12. So I was out too early. I didn't take a loss, but it wasn't spiking according to my own schedule. And I've had a crazy busy week, so unfortunately I missed a lot of the run up. A lot of the students though saw me buying it in the threes. They know I'm impatient. A lot of the students held longer. This is the beauty of teaching. I'm not running a hedge fund. You're not paying me to perform for you. You're paying me to teach you. So if I can show you the right setups, even if I personally have a busy week or I personally don't have the patience, you can do better. You will find that it is not hard to do better than me. I know that's crazy to think, but like I've found my job, right? Teachers are those who can't do. I have made millions, but I've learned that my students can make much more. Remember, I never had a mentor, I never had a guide. So I still have a lot of bad habits. For me, I can't even really like focus on my own trading. I can't really hone in and do better myself personally. I'm still making millions, but you guys have the opportunity to learn the right way from the very beginning. And that's part of the reason why I became a teacher. Let's see. Does pre-market and after hours affect the market open? Ask me style. Yeah, I mean, everything affects everything, but just because a stock is spiking pre-market doesn't mean that it's going to spike right at the market open. Just because a stock is tanking after hours doesn't mean it's going to tank when the market opens. So you have to take pre-market and after hours with a grain of salt. There's not as much volume. There's like the fear and panic going on and max euphoria going on. When the real volume, when the market comes in, you'll get a better sense of what the stock actually wants to do. So if you're too afraid to trade pre-market or after hours, that's fine. You know, you're just trying to find a time frame that works for you. And pre-market and after hours are riskier. The plays move very fast. Let's see. Lynn says, Tim, if you're a student, do you advise to use extra tools while you're studying and learning? Or does it take away learning the business? I would use as many tools as possible. Okay? I say, like some people say, like, which do I use? XGPT, Oracle, or Iris? Use them all. If you're familiar with, you know, Star Wars and like droids, the droids in the Star Wars universe, I know it's fiction, but Star Wars or Star Trek, the more tools that you use, the more droids that you use, the better prepared. So if you ask me if I'm like a Star Wars fan, like who do you want to use more, like C-3PO or R2-D2? Use them both. These tools are designed to help you. These tools are lifesavers, helping you find the best plays faster. So some people are like, I'm not going to use this one, I'm not going to use. Find whatever combination works for you. Some people love XGPT, some people love Oracle, some people use Iris. Try them all and see what suits you best. But I would rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. I say that trading is like a battlefield. If you're going into a battlefield, if there's actual war, forget about nuclear weapons or drone attacks. If you're going into war in World War I or World War II, and you have, let's say, a gun or a machine gun versus somebody who's just holding up like a butter knife, who do you think is going to do better? You need to have the best tools to have the best odds of success, or you'll just get mowed down. Let's see. What is, one disappeared. Someone said, oh, there it is. What is the one message you would give your younger self now? Asked Sharik. I would say be patient and focus again on learning first. When I first got started trading, I was there in a mania in 1998, 1999. I made a lot of money. I adapted, learned how to make money in the year 2000 and 2001 and 2002. Again, I was focused on money. Because I didn't have a mentor, my perspective, my rules, my discipline was all off. And I didn't have necessarily a big loss until 2007, 2006, 8 years later, but it was inevitable. If you learn the wrong way, if you don't build a proper foundation, it all falls down. If you're an architect, right? Like, let's say you want to build a 5-story building, a 20-story building, a 100-story building. You need a proper foundation. That's what 99.9% of you are working on right now, building a proper foundation. I never had that. So all the money that I made, I'm trying to learn as I'm trading. I'm trying to learn when I have millions. It's frankly, just crazy that I didn't lose all my money. But I've had a lot of big losses along the way because I didn't have the proper foundation. Let's see. Kobe says, is it better to scan in the morning than night because the scan list changes? I would scan in the morning and the night in this current market. You don't know how spoiled you are right now with so many plays, morning, midday, nighttime, but you want to try to be there and you want to try to watch them. Not necessarily trade all the time, but watch them and learn from the morning spikes, from the morning panics. The more you can learn, the better prepared you'll be. You're building a foundation of knowledge that takes a lot of examples, okay? I know it's easy to get overwhelmed, so don't get overwhelmed, don't burn out, but I would scan a lot right now. If you were my student in 2022 when the average trader lost 40%. They did a study. The average trading account lost 40% in 2022. If you were there, there weren't that many plays. I was still green in 2022, barely, just a small gain, but there weren't that many plays. So I think if you have the right perspective, if you're in this for years or decades, you'll see some years are busier than others. Right now, this is a busy year. And again, if you're just new, I'm not saying trade aggressively. I'm not even saying trade right away, but try to learn from different patterns. Try to witness it. And if you miss a play, let's say it spikes too quick and it blows through your limit, learn from that. It's not a mistake to put a limit order and have it go right through it and then you see the stock double. Newbies feel bad. They're like, oh, I should have been there. I should have made that money. The money that you make or lose in the beginning is negligible. And you get that experience of missing a trade. You see how it feels. You see in real time, okay? During the webinar last week, Tim Grattani and I gave, we were both in GOVX. He was in it big, I was in it small, but it was so choppy, I took like a $300 loss. I'm like, forget this, way too choppy, scary for me. I was happy with my $300 loss because it moved so much, I would have been down like $2,000 at one point. He had a much wider stop. He had a much bigger position. He ended up holding for $2 a share and made over $100,000. I don't regret selling out because it was too choppy for my tastes, and he likes it, and he made 100+ grand. So you could be in the same stock as somebody else, but again, we have different personalities, different preferences. You can't feel bad about any trade, any win, any loss, any mistrade. It all adds up, and you're trying to, as I said yesterday, you have like this ball that's your process. You're trying to shine your process and refine it. The more data that you have, the more experience you have, good and bad, the better you'll be suited to really capitalize year 2, year 3, year 4. If you heard all those millionaire students, Mari didn't even trade her first year. Even after 6 months, she didn't make a lot of money. But year 2, year 3, year 4. Andy didn't make any money, or not much money, for the first 3 years. Chris was lucky because his brother joined my challenge, and then his brother helped him get ahead. But he didn't make that much, and even when he did make a lot, he got too cocky and then lost it. You can't cheat the process. You have to learn to be self-sufficient. You have to learn through the ups and the downs. That's when you really succeed in the long run with proper risk management, with proper rewards. Robert says, what is your why for being a teacher and giving back? Appreciate your dedication to your students. I mean, it's my mission in life. I see so many people lose. I see so much misinformation in this game. It's crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys seen a little movie called Mean Girls, but there was one scene where, Lindsay Lohan is teaching Aaron Samuels, and Aaron Samuels is wrong on every math question, and she's like, she just wants to say like, yes, yes, yes. I wouldn't lie to you, okay? I don't have a crush on you like Lindsay Lohan did with Aaron Samuels. I know I'm mixing up the actress name with the actual fictional character. But for me, I want to help you. I will never lie to you about a lesson or a rule. It might not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. And again, I never had a mentor. I was very confused in the beginning when there were websites in trading. There's a lot of message boards. There's a lot of websites where traders would talk about why they're buying a stock. You never heard when they exited. Did they win? Did they lose? What's the lesson? They're just trying to pump up the stock. Today, we have a lot of chat rooms, the same thing, where promoters are spiking up stocks. They want other people to follow them into the play. That's how they make their money. I don't want you to do that. There are short sellers these days. They all say, short this company. This company has bad fundamentals. It's going to drop. I don't want you to follow short sellers. I want you to be self-sufficient. If you ask any of my millionaire students these days, they don't need me. They don't need anybody else because they've learned the proper way. That gives me a lot of motivation. Why don't I trade with a big account? Because I don't think students should do it. Why do I donate all my trading profits to charity? Because it makes it meaningful for me, okay? You have to find what makes you happy in life. And for me, it's teaching and giving back. It's endlessly thrilling for me to talk to every single millionaire student, every upcoming student, and to know that I'm real in an industry full of fakes. This industry will scam you. This whole world of finance won't tell you that 90% of traders lose. They won't say that almost everyone goes broke. If you bet too big, you'll go broke. If you believe somebody too much, you'll go broke. I don't want you going broke. And aside from just going broke, I want you learning the proper way. The fact that I've been doing this now for 25 years, trading, and teaching now for 15 years, and creating so many millionaires, every new millionaire is not just something for me to brag about, it's the fact that we have something real. And now the other millionaires are giving back. Like the crazy thing is, I gave a webinar with Tim Grittani last week. Now he's going to be giving weekly webinars to challenge students. He's back. Jack Kellogg might not just be over 13 million. He's giving weekly challenge webinars. So a lot of people are learning, and now they're giving back to the community, and it's beautiful. So how much time do we have? We got a few minutes. I'm going to answer a few more questions. Wait, Christian says I asked 3 questions. None of them have been covered. Go uncollapse, Christian. I want to answer your questions. I'm sorry if I miss your questions. There's literally like hundreds of questions, and they're scrolling very fast. What did Christian ask? I'm not trying to avoid any questions, FYI. We're going to find Christians. Give me some other question to answer. How many breakouts should a stock have before you decide to trade? Okay, so I'll answer that one, then find some from Christian. Again, every play is different. Sometimes there's a breakout and it just breaks out for a few seconds or a few minutes and then it's a fake out. LUNR did this the other day. Everybody was waiting for it to break $6 a share. It broke $6 a share for like 3 seconds, went to $6.10, and then failed straight down to $5.60. So you can't just say, oh, I want to buy breakouts. Technical analysis isn't that simple. What is the news catalyst? What's the market doing? What time of day is it? Is it the first green day, second green day, fifth green day? You have to think about all these things. You can't just buy breakouts. Technical analysis on its own without any other indicator is useless. Even more than useless, it's dangerous. Where was Christian's questions? Okay. Compare and contrast ABCD and PSFW. I don't personally use ABCD. I use my 7-step framework, which is like a more nuanced detail. If you Google Tim Sykes and 7-step framework, you'll see the different 7 steps that I use. The 7 steps work on a daily chart, intraday, but I'm looking to ideally buy the breakout, buy a stock, again, not just any breakout, but with a news catalyst, with legs, in a hot market, ideally in a hot sector, breaking out ideally on the first green day. And then if it goes too far, I don't want to chase it, I'm waiting for the crash, I'm looking for the number 5 on the morning panic dip buy, if you know my 7-step framework. One more question. Stacy says, so much material to learn. I know it might seem overwhelming, but it's not. This is not rocket science. I know in the beginning, I'm talking about 7 indicators. I'm talking about a lot of moving pieces. Trust me, it gets easier over time, but it does take time. Jack Kellogg might be over 13 million, but he didn't make much or anything in the beginning. Tim Grittani is now over 16 million, turning, 1,500 into $1 million in 3 years, but he made nothing his first year. You have to get used to the different moving numbers. You have to get used to the fact that this is not an exact science. Math teachers can be up there and they can be like, look, 5 plus 7 always equals 12. In the stock market, 5 plus 7 might equal 17 in a hot market. 5 plus 7 might equal 6 in a cold market. This is not an exact science, and that screws people up. I know I've been screwed up in the past before. I'm trying to help you to learn so that you can really take advantage of it. But trust me, I'm not that smart. None of my millionaire students are that smart. You will laugh if you're dedicated year 2, year 3, year 4. Especially I have students who are like year 5, year 6, year 7, and they're like, oh my God, what a difference. You just have to go through the process, through the wins and the losses, and then it does get easier. Again, you can never get too easy, you can never get too comfortable, but there are rules to this, and you'll see how to trade it, although some of the rules are counterintuitive in the beginning. This is my honor to be real, and I'm proud to help you. How cool was that, right? I went a little rapid fire. I had a few coffees. I had some Celsius. I'm pumped, okay? You have to remember, I never had a mentor. I never had a teacher. So even though I've made millions, I didn't have the foundation. I didn't have a proper foundation that I want to now give to you. So I'm always answering questions, trying to speed up your learning curve, trying to help build the proper foundation. If you're an architect, doesn't matter whether you want to build a 5, 10, 15, 50-story building, you need a strong foundation. That's what Q&A, that's what the basics are all about. Again, click the link below if you want to join my challenge for several weekly Q&A webinars, not to mention all the archive webinars you get as a challenge student too. It'll really speed up your learning curve. And leave a comment below, say knowledge is key or knowledge is power. If you understand, it's about knowledge first. Once you have enough knowledge, then you can get more consistent profits and you can be better prepared on every trade. It's not just about how much money you make. It's not following anybody else. It's not following hot picks. It's being self-sufficient and learning to do this on your own. That's what I want for you.